is rising, she's rising, she's rising. The spirit is rising, it's rising, it's rising. The spirit is rising, they're rising, they're rising. The spirit is rising.
Oh, hi, witches.
Hi.
Hi, new listeners. Hi, new subscribers.
Hey, everybody. Yay.
I'm Risa. This voice is Risa.
Oh, and I'm Amy. Hey, y'all. We're so excited to be in circle with you today.
Yeah, welcome to the Missing Witches Prescription, where we give ourselves and each other and you a list of things to help us survive under the crushing boot of late stage capital, to resist and re-enchant and commiserate and howl and scream and cackle wildly together. That's the theme of this space that you're in.
Yes, we talk about like what is helping us, what magic, what music, what rituals are helping us get through this week under that boot.
Mm-hmm. And we just hope you feel like we are with you in this attempt to survive and make magic.
Yeah. These days I feel like I have like the boot of capitalism on one foot and then like a dancing, maybe like a Sketcher or something, like a real solid all night dancing shoe on the other foot, because it's tax season, but it's also like the first day of spring is coming up in a few days. So like I want to just like twirl in bird song, but at the same time, like, listeners, trigger warning. I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but honestly, like, I'm fine at math and I'm not like a financially complicated person, you know, but for some reason, doing taxes feels to me like you have to follow a series of clues to solve a math equation. And if you get the math equation wrong, they'll take all your money or you'll go to jail. Like, that's what the stakes feel like to me. And I know, you know, I'm in my 40s. I've been doing this for a while. There were years that I, you know, just buried my head in the sand and let the consequences fall when they did. But yeah, it's every single year. I think I remember one year where I did my taxes without crying at some point in the process. I'm hoping this will be year 2.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Me too. I haven't even like done it. I haven't dug into it yet. I feel okay about taxes. Knocking all my cells on all the wood. But like I feel okay. I feel like, you know, last year I did my best. I fucked it up a bit. They sent me a bill. I paid it. You know? Like I'm just doing my best over here. Just trying to make that math magic. I'm just trying to tell you what I know, and if I fuck it up, then I'll fix it, you know? And that's all. That's just like where I'm trying to be with it. It's like, I will do my best. I'm just going to keep doing my best. If I fuck it up, I'll apologize. This is so minorly tangentially related, but I've been like self-cringing all week. You know when you like keep replaying something that you said?
Oh Lord, yes.
And then you have like a full body cringe. Look, I'm going to always be the person who mispronounces things because they've only read them and never heard them said aloud.
Valid.
Just that is my whole life. So please keep telling me when I pronounce things wrong, but also know that like I have accepted the fact that my own pronunciation like lives in the woods with me, where I don't talk to a lot of other people. Anyway, that's just in the theme of like, I'm just going to keep doing my best, and I'm going to try to take the boot of terror and put it gently away and wear my dancing boots as much as I can.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned about my irrational fears, is that it's best to confront them and get them over with and move on, you know. Anxieties, especially, they're compound interest, you know. And trust me, Risa, listeners, when I tell you, like, I have lost probably years in aggregate score of just like, can't deal, won't deal, you know, so shut down. But these days I have one foot in a dancing shoe at all times,
Yeah.
keeping it together. And again, just like doing it, just getting into it, like just doing it and getting into it, like spring, just like spring,
Yes.
just doing it and getting into it.
Just doing it and getting into it. What is helping you? What is your prescription this week? Do your taxes if you can. That's a good prescription.
Yeah, honestly, like we live in the world, we're magical beings in a material world. And
Mm.
until we, get from pre-utopia into utopia, that's gonna be how it is. So yeah, do your taxes. I mean, that's how they got Al Capone,
Yeah.
so don't let
Um,
him get you.
okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, only because you said material world. I have to share the mental image that flashes in front of my mind every time I think of that song, that music video. I
Madonna, Material Girl. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I My mom was a single mom at this point. We were staying in like basically student housing. She was an undergraduate student, maybe a grad student at that point. And so I was always with this one babysitter until my mom realized that this babysitter would just put on like MTV or Much Music, whatever it was at the time, and let my like 3-year-old self just watch like 4 straight hours of music videos. And then I would sneak out and with the other kids in this housing complex that was called the married students apartment, but was actually the single parents apartment. Um, would just like we would ditch our clothes and run screaming naked through the hallways and through the courtyard where there were crabapple trees. So I just remember watching Madonna like being lifted up, dripping in pearls, having the song in my head and being like, fuck yes, and getting out that door, ditching my clothes in the hallway and running with the other feral children.
I love this for spring. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to conjure Madonna, and she's not perfect, but neither am I. And I really am grateful to her for being that like proto different kind of feminist, like really inspiring and so like putting her ass where her mouth was,
Yeah.
hiring queer dancers, hiring people of color, um, all of that kind of stuff, and being
Yeah,
like a
saying
mega
fuck you to ageism. I appreciate that
yeah.
as I age and age and age. Yeah, I didn't know we were gonna conjure Madonna State either. She wasn't on my list, but I'm always happy to have that image in my mind and in my body memory. So I'm sharing that with you all.
May we all be like the feral children of Madonna in
The
spring.
Feral Children of Madonna is probably the name of this episode. Uh, what were you going to say though before we accidentally conjured Madonna?
um, I guess I was finishing up the idea that like it is what it is. We have to live in the world. We can be in this space together of conjuring. But much like witchcraft, we have to back up our mystical with the practical. And this is season of that. It's springtime. It's like
Yeah.
leave last year behind, in many ways, and financially and emotionally and all that. But the music that I came with today in my mind is Vivaldi's Spring. I think this might be our first classical piece prescription. But firstly, I mean, what's wonderful about instrumental music is that you have the title and the emotion of the notes to go on, and then your imagination can just go. And in the absence of lyrics, you can conjure any thought. But this piece in particular, and I won't say all, but most classical music pieces, it is a conjuration.
Mm.
There are no visual, cues, but you see birds when you listen to it.
Mm.
You see a babbling brook. But maybe, because there aren't any lyrics to tell us what to think about, like maybe you see like in Montreal in the springtime when people are coming out of their cocoons, it's not just like spring in the forest, it's like spring in the world. So yeah, I really prescribe like sitting down or walking, even better, putting on some headphones, walking to Vivaldi Spring to enter spring.
I love that. I'm going to add to that we have been my 4-year-old daughter May Marigold is a passionate puddle jumper. That's one of her top like 3 interests, I would say, in life, and she has a lot. And so we have been really beginning to take seriously the puddle jumping season. And so I want to share this like mind image with you that I will always have now of the kid climbing like an 8-foot snowbank, because the snowbanks here are still fucking bonkers. So she's got her strategy, and she's in a full yellow kit, and she like kicks her little foot in so she can get up the bank, and she'll sometimes like pack snow together and make herself little steps. Like she fucking knows how to do it. She climbs all the way up, and she's so high above me, you know, and everything is dripping behind her. The snow is just like dripping off the roof in the sun, and like it's all sparkly and dripping behind her. And then she like kind of jumps into a slide and slides on her butt down the side of the massive snowbank into a straight run into a puddle, you know? Like it's just like that pure joy of the world that is a real gift to me right now. So I'm adding that to Vivaldi's Springtime.
Yeah, the feral children of everywhere and everyone.
Okay, and then I'll add and this is like a creepier one, but this is the song that I've had on repeat this week. Are you a Fever Ray person, Ames?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I might be. I might
Yeah.
be.
Well, maybe we will be. I like Fever Ray. Super wonderful in the sense of like fully embracing like makeup, performance, drama. This whole cast of characters that she performs, really just so spooky and creepy. And I've had this song in my head, Looking for a Ghost. It's, I think, off an album that's just come out. And the first
I have to
line,
interrupt you. I
go.
have to interrupt you before you say the first line and we go into
Okay,
it.
go,
Is
go,
that
go.
I didn't know, so I just like muted and Googled Fever
Yeah,
Ray, and
must.
yes, I am a Fever Ray person. I can,
Okay.
I've seen like 3 photos, and I'm like, yeah, this is like The Conjuring is like Lee Bowery.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's like an immediate yes.
Immediate yes. Immediate reference point yes. And there are some songs that you'll be like, oh, I've heard this song 7 million times. I just didn't realize. Keep the Streets Empty for Me. So creepy, so good. And Looking for a Ghost starts with We Don't Come with a Manual. Like, fuck, we don't come with a manual. Like, just let me do my best, you know? And then the chorus is looking for a person with a special kind of smile, teeth like razors, fingers like spice. But then the part that I get stuck in my head is I'm asking for a friend who is kind of shy. Because I love that our culture has given us that language to be like, what is this? I need to ask this awkward piece of information. I'm just asking for a friend. They're like a little bit shy. So it's not me.
There's a flip side to that though, because when you actually are asking for a friend, people are like, oh, I feel you. I know where you're coming from. And I'm
right.
Like, no, it honestly isn't me. But yeah, I do love having that sort of nebulous, you know, asking for a friend. Maybe the friend is me. Maybe it's me. Not.
Like, let's just put it in this mushy place. And like, I like being my own friend. I like being the friend to myself who is shy, because that allows me to put on a friend to myself who is not shy. You know, like I can be either of those friends to myself. So that's in the prescription for me this week. There's something in that ambiguity that's really powerful. And yeah, just go watch. I don't know if there's a full video out for Looking for a Ghost, but I think Looking for a Ghost kind of references What They Call Us. There's like a visualizer for Looking for a Ghost, and it's one scene from What They Call Us. So I think those 2 songs are kind of linked in the narrative, so you can go watch. We'll link to both of them and see what tell us what you think. But yeah, if you're in like a joyful Vivaldi spring place for a little while this week, embrace that and like be the feral children. And then if you're in like a creepy ghost razor tooth place, like also remember somewhere in the world it's always the opposite. So it's spring, it's also fall. We're here together. We had a bunch of subscribers this week from Australia and Singapore and Germany. We are mighty and weird and all over the world. So we know you're not in the melting with us, but somewhere in that vibe with us, probably.
Yes. And so the prescription for this week, I want to also add our wonderful Ostara guest. You'll hear this on Monday, but I want to give y'all a sneak preview. Maria Moltini has this amazing video piece. And honestly, you'll hear me say this again in the interview, but watching it is a ritual. So we're going to link that video as well, because it's just the perfect 5-minute quietness ritual to begin your spring or your tax season, whichever is most prevalent on your mind right now. But ultimately, the prescription is just do your best. Take a deep breath. We're all doing our best. There's no manual. We're writing the manual together. Thank you all for your contributions to this great manual of the universe. And with that, blessed fucking be.
Blessed fucking be.